Have you ever been recruited to judge a dog costume contest at PetSmart by enthusiastic staff? I was at PetSmart last October buying cat food when an employee named Bradley grabbed my arm. Thank God you made it. We were about to start without you. Before I could explain I wasn't whoever he thought I was, he dragged me toward the grooming salon where about 30 dogs in costumes were gathered with their owners. Everyone, our celebrity judge has arrived, Bradley announced. The crowd applauded. Someone handed me a clipboard with scoring sheets. A woman with a Yorkie dressed as a taco whispered, "I loved your segment on Channel 7 about sustainable pet fashion." I'd never been on Channel 7. I don't even have a dog. But there I was, holding a clipboard, surrounded by expectant faces and costume dogs. A Great Dane wearing a dinosaur outfit was drooling on my shoes. Should we start with small dogs or large? Bradley asked, adjusting his store vest importantly. The real judge was apparently some local influencer who ran a pet lifestyle blog. But faced with all these hopeful owners who'd clearly spent hours on costumes, I couldn't bring myself to disappoint them. Let's go by creativity categories, I said, trying to sound authoritative, starting with most original concept. For the next hour, I judged 28 dogs with the seriousness of a Supreme Court justice. There was Bentley the Beagle as a UPS driver, complete with tiny cardboard packages. A Pomeranian named Princess was dressed as a loofah, which was genuinely brilliant. 2 corgis came as salt and pepper shakers, walking in synchronized waddles. The owners took this competition seriously. One woman explained the backstory of her Pitbull's astronaut costume, including a 3-page mission briefing she'd written. A teenager had hand-sewn his Chihuahua's Elvis jumpsuit with actual rhinestones. These people had committed. I was examining a golden doodle dressed as Bob Ross, complete with a tiny afro and paint palette, when the actual judge arrived. She looked confused, then annoyed, then intrigued as she watched me inspect the costume's miniature easel. "Who are you?" she asked. "Someone who couldn't bear to disappoint dogs in costumes," I admitted. The crowd overheard and gasped. But then something beautiful happened. The golden doodle's owner spoke up. "She's been amazing." She actually looked at each costume, asked about our inspiration, and made every dog feel special. "You usually just pick the cutest dog regardless of costume effort." The real judge looked offended, but other owners chimed in agreeing. The woman with the taco Yorkie said I'd given better feedback than any previous judge. The teenager with Elvis Chihuahua said I was the first judge to notice his hand stitching. Bradley, who'd been mortified, suddenly had an idea. "Why don't we have 2 judges? Guest judge and celebrity judge?" The crowd loved it. The real judge, probably not wanting to look petty, agreed. We ended up co-judging. She focused on aesthetic impact, while I judged creative execution. The Bob Ross Golden Doodle won my category. The real judge picked a standard witch costume on a Maltese, which proved the owner's point about her picking cute dogs over creative costumes. The store manager was so pleased with the turnout and enthusiasm that she offered me a part-time position running pet events. I declined, but agreed to guest judge future costume contests. They now advertise it as judged by local cat owner who doesn't even have dogs but really appreciates effort. The teenager with Elvis Chihuahua found me on social media and sent me progress photos of his new costumes. He's starting a small business making custom pet outfits. He credits me for encouraging him, though all I did was notice his stitching and ask about his technique. Bradley still apologizes every time I shop there. "Remember when I accidentally made you judge dogs?" he says. I always respond, "Remember when it turned out better than the real thing?" Last week, I ran into the Bob Ross Golden Doodle at the park. He wasn't in costume, but his owner recognized me. "Fake judge," she called out happily. "Gulliver still has his ribbon on his crate. My daughter says you proved that sometimes the best judge is someone who doesn't know what they're doing but cares enough to try." I still have the clipboard. Bradley let me keep it as a souvenir. Sometimes when I'm at PetSmart, dogs from the contest come up to me like we're old friends. Their owners tell new customers. She's the one who actually looked at our costumes instead of just our dogs' faces. The real influencer judge blocked me on Instagram after someone commented that I should replace her permanently. I consider it a badge of honor.